The Simard family, Roger, Lucille, and their daughter Susanna, recently moved into their new house on the far south side of the city in East Side, Chicago. Roger had been searching for a house by Lake Michigan for the past year when he discovered a great deal on a foreclosed property. The house had been unoccupied since its owners left years ago. But unable to contact them, the bank eventually took possession of the property. And nearly 50 years later, they were auctioning the house off, and Roger thought it was a great opportunity to make an investment. As the family was only moving from Milwaukee to Eastside, it wasn't a big change for Roger or Lucille. But for Susie, their 15-year-old daughter, it might as well have been the end of the world. For 4 days at least, it was. But when she first walked into her new room, where she would have all the privacy she ever wanted, Susie was more than happy moving there. It's been 4 days, 6 hours, 37 minutes since we were last together. Is this how long-distance relationships feel like? At least we'll be able to meet on the weekends. How's the new house? It's alright. I can see the lake from my window. I'll send you a selfie. Well, without you around, there's been a lot of up-hotness at the school. There's what? Up-hotness. What's up-hotness? Just chillin'. You? You're so lame. I love it. While Susie was coping just fine, Lucille was still getting used to the ongoing obsession of her being glued to her phone. It was 9 p.m., dinner was running cold, and Susie was still in her room. Susanna, isn't it time you put down that phone and come to the table? Yeah, Mom, coming. Right now, young lady. If your dad saw how much time you spent on that phone, he would have had it seized a long time ago. Susie sent a long text while her mother stood there ready to burst. She then hopped across the room smiling at her. Dad might, but you're the best mom in the world. You can't butter me about everything, Susie. You don't want to see my bad side. Here you go, Garfield. I know you'd rather prefer lasagna, but it's toxic for cats. So for now, you're gonna have to deal with seafood meow mix. Roger and Lucille absolutely hated the new teenage drama. And ever since Susie started seeing this boy, the drama doubled. But of course, the parents themselves had been through the phase, so they were tolerating it. But that didn't make it any less annoying or concerning. Since the family had moved, Susie had been on her phone texting and chatting with this boy. In the living room, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the backyard. Susie, can you go rake the backyard? Roger and Lucille weren't happy about the matter at all. It wasn't long before teenagers got themselves tangled up in embarrassing situations. Dad? 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 What is it, Susie? Did you know you're the best dad in the world? Skip to the point. What do you want? I wanted to go to the mall next weekend, and I need some allowance. Absolutely not. Please, Dad, come on. Well, you definitely aren't going to get it for free, but you can do some chores to earn it, like clean out the fireplace. The weather is getting chilly. $50 and it's a deal. How about $1 and you still have to do it? Alright, $20. I'm dropping you off and I'm picking you up. Now go get started. And so, instead of sleeping in on Saturday morning, Susie put on her gloves, covered up the furniture, and started sweeping out the firebox. The things she did for Kevin. It's a date next Saturday, but my dad's dropping me off. He agreed to it? No way. I'm not telling him. You want to die or something? Alright, gotta go. Have a lot of work to do. Susie started brushing the brick walls of the chimney. But when she felt a cold puff of air on her head, she looked up, a little scared by how dark it was. But suddenly, when something shifted along the space, a little light seeped through. What is that? Susie ignored it and continued cleaning out the ash. She couldn't get rid of the feeling that something was up in that chimney right above her. She actually started to hear something strange. The sound of something breathing right over her shoulder. Susie dropped her things and ran to her mother. "Mom, there's something hiding in the chimney." "It's probably just some rats." "No, it wasn't a rat. It was bigger than that. And kinda long. I don't know, but it's not a rat." "Then maybe a raccoon. Be careful, don't shine your flash at that thing. Now you've got even the animals fed up of your constant selfies. They have to hide in the chimney to get away from you." "I'm not joking, Mom. Raccoons don't breathe like that. It felt like a person breathing over my neck." "Susie, if you think you're gonna get away with getting the job half done, it's not gonna happen." "It's not that, Mom. Come see for yourself." "I don't want to hear the excuses, Missy." Susie sighed as she returned to the living room. She was too paranoid to go under the chimney again. She used the broomstick to get the rest of the job done. "Get out of the way, Garfield. Don't go near there." It took double the time, but apart from looking like a 19th century coal mine worker taking her minimum wage, all was fine. 50? Really? Dad, you really are the best. You won't believe what happened today. It was so freaky. What? I swear, there's some freaky looking thing up in my chimney. I have no clue what it was, but it was long. Alright, if that was meant to be something dirty, I have no clue how to respond to that. What? No. Seriously. Did you take a picture? No, I was too scared to go there again. I heard it breathing. Sounds like Santa got stuck up there last Christmas and that's his. Susie stopped texting to listen closely to a strange thud over her ceiling, and right outside her wall facing the backyard. It continued for a while, before it was silent again. Now I'm hearing strange noises from the roof. Thanks for giving me nightmares. Susie woke up the next morning, and as usual sent a long text to Kevin, got ready, and went out to give Garfield his food. She found her mom in the kitchen, couldn't spot her dad, or Garfield for that matter. As she peered under the table and in the cupboard, she asked her mother, "Where's Dad?" "Pretty sure he's not inside the cupboard." "I was looking for Garfield." "Right, where is that cat? Your dad went out." Susie searched the entire house, but she couldn't find the cat anywhere, so she decided to check outside. "Garfield! Garfield, where are you?" Susie looked back at the house when her eyes caught something up on the roof. It looked like a dark stain, like something gross dropped there. What kind of bird droppings is that? All of a sudden, Susie heard a rustle in the bushes. "Garfield? Do you know how long I've been searching for you?" Two raccoons jumped out fighting over something in their paws. Seeing Susie, they dropped it and scurried off over the fence. Susie was about to run herself, but she froze seeing what the raccoons left behind. There were flies buzzing in the bushes. Susie stepped closer, horrified to see her cat, Garfield, in a dreadful condition. How could this happen? The raccoons? "Get out of the way, Garfield. Don't go near there." Susie last saw Garfield walking around the chimney. Was it? Mom! Mom! I told you there was something hiding in that chimney. It killed Garfield." "What?" "That lazy cat is probably sleeping somewhere around here. You'll find him." "No, we won't. Garfield is no more. Go see for yourself. There are raccoons out there." They're eating him. That's horrible. These raccoons are turning out to be dangerous. I'll tell your father about them. It wasn't the raccoons, Mom. I didn't see a raccoon that day. It was some sort of other creature. The sound on the roof last night. That stain. It was blood. Don't be ridiculous, Susie. Sit down and have your breakfast. Your head isn't working. She had been taking care of Garfield since she was 8. Her mother had tried to get rid of him so many times, but Susie had always come to his rescue. But this time, she was too late. Every time Susie went to the living room, she stared at the chimney for hours. She could sense that thing breathing across the room. Her parents refused to believe her, though her dad humored her once and shined a flashlight up there to find nothing. Are you serious, Susie? You're going to be 16 and you're scared of monsters lurking in the chimney? Dad, look again. It's hiding up there. It must be Krampus. Half goat, half demon, horns and claws. But as far as I knew, he came down the chimney at night for bad children, not cats. It's not Krampus, Mom. Well, you're claiming something just as bizarre, Susie. It was a rainy night. Susie was sitting on her bed, looking out to the lake. She didn't feel like talking to Kevin. Even he didn't believe her. Looking through pictures of her and Garfield, Susie woke up startled to a bad dream. She saw something dragging Garfield away. Anxious, she went out to get some water. Passing by the living room, she stared at the chimney. A shrill sound rung in her ears as a moist, cold breeze passed through the opening. Getting the shivers, she quickly drank her water and hurried back. Down the hall, however, she stopped to see her parents' room open. They were up at this time. Susie walked down the hall, about to call her mom, when she fell silent by what she saw. Her throat became parched. Her fingers trembled as she peered through the crack to see her parents laying lifeless on the floor, just like how she found Garfield. And what was that? Petrified, Susie ran down the hall. Had it seen her? She had to think quick. Susie opened the cupboard and climbed inside. Her heart raced as she heard the floorboards creak outside. She was breathing so heavily. She covered her mouth, trying not to let out a sound. She left her phone in the room. There was no way she could get it now. Between the cupboard panels, she peeked outside. It was silent. Susie leaned back the farthest she could. Maybe she might be able to escape. She remembered the first time she heard her dad talking about the house. The original owners abandoned the house and disappeared. Strange, isn't it? Why would anyone leave such a beautiful home? Susie knew why. They hadn't disappeared or left. They were killed. And now, Susie had lost everyone. What was going to happen to her? She closed her eyes tight. Tears dropped profusely down her cheeks as she whimpered softly in fear. In the midst of the horror, she felt a cool, relieving breeze on her wet face. Just until she heard a raspy voice from the other side.
Now who's hiding?
If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family.